This is Bob, and this is his friend Joe. They were talking one day about their favorite classes at Dartmouth, when suddenly Bob doesn't feel well. I mean, really doesn't feel well. Bob just suffered a heart attack, and unfortunately, his friend Joe doesn't know CPR. And sadly, Joe isn't alone. 65% of people in the US have received some sort of CPR training, but 82% of which are not up to date. 40% of adults are not comfortable administering CPR. And as a result, Hero aims to solve this problem statement. Bystanders need a way to reduce anxiety and limitations caused by a lack of training when administering emergency CPR, so that victims of cardiac arrest have the best chance at survival in non-hospital settings. And so at first to design this, we started with initial prototyping, as you can see here with some look-like designs. And then we moved on to a drawing of what we wanted the final piece to look like. So you can see here in the top, we have our bellow mechanism, which compresses and delivers air to the mask. And then on the bottom, you can see is the band mechanism, which has different sensors in order to display data on whether the user is administering accurate CPR compressions or not. Then continuing on with our prototyping process, we used an Arduino Uno connected to a laptop and a pressure sensor to get some pressure data. And then we modified that code to fade an LCD screen in order to show the user a green screen when they're in the correct range, and a blue screen if they're pushing too soft, and a red screen if they're pushing too hard. From there, we went into CAD and CAD'd up parts for the bellow device. And this is kind of how our mechanism of the bellow device works with a rotating worm gear motor. We also designed a button that would sit on top of our product. From there, we began iterating as well again, and we started downsizing circuitry in order to make it compact and fit nicely in our device. And then we worked on the aesthetics portion. As you can see here, we made the band, and this is kind of what our final product of the band looks like here on the right. And here's our final solution. Hero, Heart Emergency Rescue Operator. Here's a quick tutorial of how Hero works.
So the first thing you need to do is grab the Hero device, which you're going to put next to the victim, open it up, take out the band component with all of its electronics, the mask, and the resuscitation device.
Alright, so now that you have Hero out of the box, what you want to do is first is place the mask over the victim's face, making sure that it has an adequate seal. Then from there, you want to take the band component of the Hero, remove the adhesive, and stick it to the victim's chest, right on their breastbone. And then from there, what you want to do is you want to start by hitting this button right here, which starts the program, and you start to hear the compression mechanism going. You'll see the screen now is blue, which means it's too soft. You would start by administering compressions according to the metronome, and when the screen turns green, it means that you're giving adequate compressions, so you want to make sure you're getting there. After 30 compressions, 2 breaths will be administered, and then it'll go back to 30 compressions. You want to follow this until paramedics are on scene, and at any point you can stop hitting this button, and that pauses the program.